chasing highs to stay alive. But if I'm with you, I'll survive. So hold me close into the night, 'cause I need you to stay. You take me to paradise.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. So, this is a few days ago. I was taking out Sydney's braids. She got new braids. Um, that way, she'll be nice and ready for her birthday. Her birthday is 12/12. So, we always celebrate that during Vlogmas, right? So, I thought it would be cool if we were in the theater. That way, she can kind of chill and watch a movie while I do that. But yes, on my popcorn buckets and my cups from the Wicked for Good movie. I saw it twice. I saw it once with the girls, and then it was me and the bestie the second time. So, yes, on that. But Sid was all in it, right? She was in it. They were singing in the movie, right? So she was just having a good old time, and Hershey was walking around doing her thing, trying to get into stuff. That's what she was doing. But every time I see Sydney sing or dance, it just melts my heart so much. Oh my goodness, because she is serious about what she is trying to say. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of scanning over so that you can see what part they were on. This is the first Wicked, right? So, they were doing the whole thing in there. And she was doing it too. Yes, on that. That is my girl. I don't know where Kara was. I asked her if she wanted to come down. She was like, no, thank you. She was doing something, but let's get into this finale right here with Sydney. She is all in. Look, I cannot. I love her so much. Oh my goodness. And this one right here, out here trying to get into stuff, right? Running around. She knows her chair though. That middle one right there, reserved for the dog. So let's get into this is new day right now. We're closer to Thanksgiving. Let's get into a prep. You guys know I work every day, and I just really I was going to say budget. I have to kind of think things through. I have to do a brain dump, which is something I do on a regular basis. I have so much going on with myself, with the girls and hubby, and just all the things. I need to space it out. And I think I told you this before, I use Chat GPT a lot just so that it can kind of guide me. I'll say what I want, and then it'll just do this thing for me, and it's perfect, right? I follow that, and I basically try to stick to the plan, right? So I do have a little bit of time before work. So this is me before work measuring out. I did all my sweets and stuff first. So I'm measuring out the flour and everything for both cookies and cupcakes. So that just saves me so much time. It makes me more productive, right? And notice that I'm spooning my flour just because it's more accurate for me when I do it like this. I would never, put the cup into the flour. The measurement is not accurate that way. So I scoop it in with a spoon, and it's all nice and fluffy, right? So making sure I get my baking powder in there and everything in both, right? Just making sure I have the right measurement in there, right? And always got to hit it with a little bit of salt, always. I use unsalted butter, so I do throw in a little bit of the salt. It just, needed to bring out the flavor, right? So I'm just bagging everything up, throwing it to the side. Yeah, and then I'm doing both the cookies and the cupcakes. I'm just doing kind of like a dozen or so of each. Sydney ate one of the cookies already. already. But I'm just doing a dozen of each. We'll have other desserts, So this is just what I am doing. So yeah, it'll be cool in the
It's
gang.
hard to wait. Can I be around you for motivation just a little while? A
So I'm also measuring out the sugar as well. So I think I just use about 1 cup of sugar for the cupcakes, but for the cookies, and you see that I'm kind of patting that right in there, that brown sugar, and I think that's probably a 1/2 cup, and then I'll do a 1/4 cup of the regular sugar. So I do more of the brown sugar on that, little sweeter, right? So yes on that, throwing that to the side. And this is where, am I done? Yeah, get those sugar crumbs, right? And I was like, oh, it's in a plastic bag, but let me grab, this is the little container, right? From the Dollar Tree. I said, let me store it in here until I'm ready for it. Quick and fast, right? So yes on that. So now I'm ready to go to, I'm ready to go to work, and I felt so much better that I accomplished that. So now I'm home. So I'm going to do the cookies first, because remember I said that I like to freeze them 1/2 hour minimum. They could stay in there as long as you want, right? But I definitely wanted to do them first. That way when I was doing the others, they could be in the freezer, right? So, see what I mean about pulling my mixer? I would have been so pissed off if I had to keep pulling it from the corner. Remember when we did the decor in the kitchen, the Christmas decor, and I was saying that? So, yeah, this is where it needs to be, right? So, yes, on that 1 stick of butter, throwing it in there. I just cut it up so that it would be a little bit easier for me, right? And, taking that knife, getting that down in there into the bowl, throwing my sugar in there, right? And I'm going to mix that up, throw some flavoring in there, throw an egg and an egg yolk in there, right? And yeah, I'll be good to go.
Just for motivation. Life is hard the way it is, but with you it's easier. Follow me into the night. Without you, I'm falling deeper. Stay a bit longer.
So I'm going to stop it, right, and get this flour in there. I'm watching Young and the Restless. I'm watching Victor. Yes on that. It's a whole thing with Nicholas and Sharon trying to find Noah. He with the girl that was married to the guy. It's a whole thing. Oh my goodness. Noah been going, now he back. It's a whole thing with him. So yes on getting all the flour in there, right? And I'm just going to mix it. I did half, and then now I'm going to do the other half. And I'm just going to mix it just enough to where I'm almost not seeing any of the flour. I don't want to over mix it. So yes on that. And then I'm just going to pour some of, what is it? Salted caramel. I grabbed those from Trader. So I said, well, I might as well switch it up a little bit because we did the chocolate chips and the Oreos. So yeah, I said, let me do these. It was so good. Oh my goodness. So yes on that. So I'm going to throw the salted caramel chips in there, and only half a bag. I don't need the whole thing. And a little bit of walnuts, right? They're all crushed up, stirring that up. And I'm going to get them on a cookie sheet so that I can freeze them up.
I just need you to stay a bit longer. I just need you to. When I feel burning, motivation, just a little while. A simple question.
So this sheet, right, is fire. I don't even really need this parchment paper. I'm still using the Disney one that I grabbed from Dollar Tree. It's so darn cute, but I honestly don't need it. The cookies roll right off of this sheet pan, right? So, girl, but I just used it anyway because the paper is so darn cute. And Miss Hershey, Miss Hershey, she was like by my side. Oh my goodness, waiting for something to drop on the floor probably. So I got those in the freezer, right? So now I'm cooling the gang with that. And I'm just setting this up. That's normally something Sydney would do, but she was doing her own thing. I think she was having her concert upstairs. Right? So now I'm going to get into these these cupcakes. So I did put a little bit of brown sugar because now I thought about it and I decided I wanted kind of like an apple pie cupcake. So I took out some of the white sugar and put in brown sugar, right? And I still got my 2 eggs here when I'm doing my cupcakes and my flavoring here that I wanted. And I do a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg right in here too, just to kind of like, again, an apple pie ish cupcake, right? I don't know why all of a sudden I had the taste for that. I just didn't want them to be like regular. So, girl, and I was tired. I was so tired. But when I got home this day, I did like a 10-minute yoga stretch. And I knew that that would make me feel better and give me a teeny bit of energy. It was exactly what I needed because it really did. I was tired, but it got me through. It almost gave me like a boost of energy. It got me through what I needed to do. And when I say I felt so accomplished, I was so proud of myself that I stuck to the plan, right? So, yes, on half of the flour, milk, the other half of the flour, the other half of the milk, right? Getting that all in there. Don't want to overmix it. We don't want tough cupcakes. And there is the cinnamon, and I'm going to throw in a nutmeg. And yeah, stir it up a little bit, and we're going to get them in the cupcake liners.
Just for motivation, can I be around you? For motivation, just a little while. A simple question, can I get close?
Look at Miss Hershey girl. This is the one time, look at her. This is the one time she not in the window, right? Being Miss Hershey Pearl with her nosy self. Oh my goodness. So you see me scooping, right? I'm going to get the silicone because that gets like all of whatever's left over. It's like half a cupcake in there. So I'm scraping that down and getting it in that last one, right? And that's usually my tester. So it really doesn't matter how big or small it is because that's the one I'm going to eat just to make sure all is good, right? I mean, I taste my batter anyway, so I know what my cupcakes are going to taste like, but is it too dense? Is it, you know what I mean? So, and yes, on the cookies that are now frozen, right, the dough, I'm just keeping them all on one sheet. They're going to be running together, right, because they're big, but I don't even care. I will circle them out so that they're not out of shape, and you'll see me do that later. But right now, let me make this buttercream frosting, right? So just cutting up the butter. So with the buttercream, I do the stick of butter and the stick of, not a stick, don't do a stick, a half of the Crisco. It just is so good, so smooth. Oh my goodness. So I'm just taking that knife and kind of, doing it in the middle so that I can have half, right? And then I start cutting and I thought about it. You'll see me stop because I'm like, oh my goodness. I wanted to make cream cheese frosting. Once I decided to do the apple pie cupcakes, I wanted cream cheese frosting. I was like, darn it. But now the cream cheese is like super cold and I'm in the groove. So I'm like, whatever. We'll just have buttercream frosting, right? It's going to be good either way. So yes on that. Just blending this, mixing it up, right, until it is like really, really smooth, right? So maybe like 3-4 minutes on that. I usually do, right? Throw my flavoring in, and then I have my big container of the confectioner sugar, right? The powdered sugar. And I think I do put cinnamon and nutmeg in here too. I don't even remember anymore. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to do 4 cups of this. I don't care about the measurement, really. I just scoop it out because it's not like flour. It's not a science to this part. Not too much anyway. So I just dump in 4 cups. I do 2. I'll mix it up because the mixer is going to start getting really hard to handle. And then that is when I will put a little bit of milk in at a time until it starts to smooth out, right? And I will mix it for I'm mixing it for about 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, the color will even change to like a white. That's how long I'm mixing it. And it's so smooth and butter creamy. Oh my goodness. Yes, on that.
Just for motivation.
So, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Um, I will be with the bestie every other year. We flip. And yeah, it's a fun time. You know, she does half of the things, I do half of the things, right? So you see me taste my frosting, right? It's so good. Oh, my goodness, it's so good. But over here with these cookies now, so you see how they're all sticking together. So I'm going to just take my cookie cutter and just kind of, circle it around it so that it will even out the cookies so they're not all crazy looking. So now they're nice and round edges and everything. And oh, they're so good. See? Perfect, right? That's why I was like, I'm too tired to be trying to I was just trying to make everything easier. And I was checking the cupcakes to make sure, they were done. So I stuck that toothpick in there. I'm going to flip them over. Right? Girl, I'm good to go. And I'm only doing this, kind of moving them up, because if I let them stay, it'll stick. So, because they're hot. So, yeah. It's my own little hang up. I don't know why I do that. I mean, I know why I do it, but it's an extra step I just like to do, right? So lights off and back over here, and I'm going to store my frosting in this container right here. Look at it. Girl, yes on that. Don't play with it. It's so good, let me tell you. So I started to just put it in. This is another quirk of mine. I don't know why something has to be lined on the bottom. I don't know. I just do it. I just line it. Like even in my cookie jars and like all the things, and I don't know, I'll put like a paper towel down or a wax paper. Girl, it works for me. So it's not necessary, but I just do it. I don't want stuff touching the bottom, which is insane because everything is clean, but girl, I'm a mess. So again, scraping all of the good with the spatula, right? We got to get everything. So yeah, I love this spatula. This is the one I got from Target, I feel like, this year. So yes, on that's done. I'm so funny. New day, girl. I got the cheese out for the mac and cheese. So this year, I feel like I'm always getting the bag shredded, that's already shredded, right? So I'm like, they always say it's better if you do it yourself. So I'm like, this year I'm going to do it myself. So the usual suspects, right? With the cheeses, right? The Sharps and the Mott's and the Colby Jacks and Goudas and all the things, right? So I'm about to put in some work with this. Now this is me before work. So, this is what I chose to do on this day. And it was honestly, it was quick. I kept having to look at the clock to make sure, because you know me, I'll almost miss my train in 3 hot seconds. So, yeah, I only did half, and I did like the one back first. Look at me. I'm like I am putting in the work. Oh my goodness. But honestly, I like it. It wasn't a big deal. I was like listening to an audiobook right here at this point, and the time went by, it was time for me to go. It all worked out. So I did 2 bags. I did half of the cheeses in one, just in case. Like, I will have cheese left over, and then I can just do a quick and fast for me, hubby, and the girls, right? So this is the second bag right here. But yeah, it was as long as it's quick and fast for me, it's easy on me. So I'm all about that. So yeah, I'm gonna throw that away, throw that, clean that, swish that, right? Get it in a bag, and then I am going to grab the sweet potatoes. So those were washed off really good, right? Love that fruit and veggie wash that I grabbed from Dollar Tree, and then I have one from Trader too. So yeah, so getting that all good. And like I said, we have a lot of different foods, so I didn't have to make a big crazy amount, but I still needed to prep for my sanity. You know what I mean? Because I have other things to do, and easier on me, right? Just easier on me. So yeah, just scraping these all up, right? And then I'm gonna cut them up, and I'll be good to go. So you see me grab the bag because I was just going to store it like I did the cheese, and I thought about it in that split second and was like, why am I doing that? Let me just get the pot that I'm making them in, fill it with the water and everything. You see me look at the clock. Fill it with the water, get the potatoes in there, and then when I get home, boom, right on the stove, we good to go, right? Easier on me, not having to do an extra step. So in that split second, I thought about it, and I was so glad that I did. So yes on that. So now I'm home. The potatoes are on. So quick and fast, right? It's the little things. It really is the little things. So I'm just going to make this sauce up quick and fast, right? Some butter and sugar and flavoring, cinnamon, nutmeg, stir that up so that I could pour that over. And I'll cover them and put them in the fridge until I'm ready for them. So that that is cool in the gang. And I'm just going to use these apples. I think I grabbed them from Aldi's, those fried apples. Oh, they're so good. I did put a little bit more cinnamon and nutmeg on them. I cut them up into little pieces so that I could use them. Because remember, I said I kind of wanted like an apple pie cupcake thing going on, right? So yeah, so I'm going to take a little bit of the frosting, like half. I think I have to use a little bit more though. And I'm using my Mickey and Minnie cup. I think that's the mini cup, right? My tip is in the bottom of the bag already. So it's just, easy. And yeah, so I decided to kind of do drops with the frosting. My tip got stuck. I had to pull it down. I wanted to do drops with the frosting. Like, I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to make it look like a pie. So, like with the whipped cream, at least that's how it was supposed to look, right? But, yeah, so I just did like drops with the frosting. And then I put, the apples in the middle, right? And then when I was doing the other one, I was like, oh, let me do it the other way. So that's why that one looks different than the first one. But I was like, now that looks crazy. I need more apples, right? So it was a whole thing. But I ended up doing the drops all the way around. I realized that me frosting and putting the apples on was taking up too much time. So I just finished it with all the frosting first. And then I went back and put the apples on top. At first, I was going to scoop out the middle, but the cupcakes, they're not big cupcakes. I didn't want to take away from that. I just needed a little bit. So I didn't take out the middle, but this was more than enough. Me and hubby split one at the end because my tester turned out to be like a regular size cupcake. So we split it and it was fire. I put a little bit more cinnamon on top, right? It was perfect. So this is how the first ones look with the drops of the frosting, right? And then I did the swirl on these right here. So this is how these look, right? Perfect. So now we almost done. Oh my goodness, girl, we are almost done with the prep anyway in this video, right? I am doing the ham and I'm doing some collard greens. Probably making that right now as you're watching this, right? Tonight. So, yes, on that, but I'm getting this macaroni and cheese. And you see how I put the spoon over top? If you do that, it won't overflow. But I still made a mess. I still made a mess. And you'll see that in a few minutes. I was putting some of, this is just some seasonings I threw together, right? And I'm pouring it. Look, girl, it was a whole thing. It started running. Everything was, it was a whole thing. So I had to move over to the counter. That's because I was rushing. This was this morning. So I wasn't rushing, but I was kind of like watching that clock, right? But I'm still glad it's done. Like, that's one thing off my plate. And oh my goodness. So yes, you guys, everything is prepped. I am right now, if you're watching this tonight, right, I am making the collard greens and just prepping the ham, right? And yeah, I did good. I am super proud of myself. I swear, if I was a stay-at-home mom, I would cook all the time. Like, it's just, it's a thing when you're able to, just kind of put things together or follow a recipe or whatever. This isn't a recipe. This is me just doing what I usually do. And I'm picking out these big pieces. I had big chunks of cheese in there that I had from when I was grating it. And when I poured it, it poured in and I didn't realize. So I was taking it out. But girl, yes, on this. And Hershey, she's still walking around. But happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Oh my goodness. Have a safe day, a fun day with your family or whatever you decide to do, right? And yeah, my family will be thinking of you, and I hope to see you guys on Sunday so we can get into the foyer and the living room and get to that winter white, right? Yes, on that. All right, you guys, I will see you Sunday. Bye.